story. It might not be Buddhist. If you know, let me know. It's about the night and it's about the darkness and the sun. And the darkness is talking to the moon. And he says, I hate the sun. He always chases me away and he bullies me. And it's not just. I'm fed up with this. So the moon says to the sun one day, why are you always picking on the darkness? Why are you always chasing it away? And the sun says, what's darkness? Who is this darkness that you're talking about? Because as the darkness flees the sun doesn't even know the darkness is there. Because there can't be darkness where there is light. Hey guys, so I'm recording a few videos in a row here. I've had no time the last few days. I've been really exhausted and so much going on, sick children, etc, etc. Just haven't had a chance to record a video. That said, I have touched on a topic in another video just now, and I want to do a video by itself for it while I've got the energy, while I've got the peace and quiet of the night time, which is the only time it's ever peace and quiet here, although not always, because you get sick children, like I said. I want to talk about, sometimes on the channel, I share things which people deem as negative, and they don't want to hear it. Now, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to hear it, first of all, and I get that. We are so slammed with negativity in the Western system that sometimes you just need to escape it, and you need to get into that positivity. And I'm with you 100%. I will not watch mainstream news, especially here. You know, last weekend, Fritzy and I got into the mainstream news at Tanzania, and there was just so much darkness going on in there. And I was like, you know what, I'm switching it off, because here in Uchira, for sure, there's darkness going on in the form of hunger and poverty, etc., etc. But it's darkness I can fix. I can't do anything about this stuff on the news. I can't do anything about this stuff on the newspaper and on the news website. There's nothing I can do except feel bad about it. So I get that, and you need to pull away from that. However, that said, what I'm seeing in this spiritual aspect of things, and the spiritual movement on the planet, is they're very fearful of going towards the negative. And I get it, because we're saturated with it in the Western system. However, and it's a big however, the beautiful, loving, and nice feeling that everybody gets when they watch some of the videos with the children and with the animal rescue and so on and so forth is a wonderful thing. I love that warm fuzzy chest feeling, as most people do. But to achieve that, I had to make a decision to daily put myself in the thick of negativity. I had to put myself in the thick of things that you don't want to see. You have to put yourself in the thick of sick children. You have to put yourself in the thick of people dying. You have to put yourself in the thick of hungry people coming begging for food at your fence, and so on and so forth. You have to put yourself in the position of seeing heinous animal cruelty without reason or explanation. You have to take yourself far from home, where you don't see your nephew growing up, and so on and so forth. You've got to impact yourself with negativity to be able to do something positive. And this is what I have a fear of in the new spiritual movements on the planet. Everyone's all about stay positive and you shouldn't share this negative information. It drags me down to hear how this banking system works, so on and so forth. It drags me down to hear this. You should just be happy and accepting and tolerating, tolerant of everything. And this is just not how it is, guys. This is just not a normal... This is a fantasy reality. And many of you already know this, so I'm speaking preaching to the preached, as they would say, speaking to the converted. But the world isn't just positive. Sadly, it's not just positive. And for me to share positive videos which help to uplift people and give people a bit of hope, I, as a human being, have to stand in the centre of negativity. And now Fritzy has to stand there with me too, and so does my staff. And we have to stand in the middle of some of the worst things imaginable. Children who have suffered so much that you can just feel it on them when you first meet them. Children who are sick all the time, and children who have HIV and so on, so you're never quite sure, how long will this child live? Will they be okay? They're going to get a chance infection. Then you have to walk into heroin dens where you've got 11-year-old children injecting heroin into their arms. This is not positive and fun. It would be much nicer for me to go and walk in the rainforest and look at the animals. But then you can't help when you ignore the negative. You can't do it. It might feel okay. It might feel nice. And for sure, when I need to escape, I will go for a walk in the forest because I just need to be away from it all. But to aim to be there all of the time, then how are you ever going to get out in the world and fix the problems if you don't face the negativity full on? If you don't face the shadow and shine a light on it and say, get away from here. Yeah, you're negative. Yeah, it's not nice to listen to what you've done, but I'm here to shine a light on you and to tell you to go away. And this is where it comes. We've got to be strong, and we've got to stand up, and we've got to say, this negativity, everybody, I know about this, and it's not nice, but here it is, and you need to hear it. And then people hear it. Some people will say, I don't need to hear about that because it makes me feel low. I understand. However, if you want it to truly go away, instead of turning your back on it, you've got to build the light in yourself and shine as much as you can on those dark places, on those negative places. Make them go away. St. Francis said, a single sunbeam can cast away many shadows. And it's a very true statement. It only takes one little candlelight, and darkness can't get onto light. Yeah. It really can't. There's an amazing, I think it's a Buddhist proverb that speaks about this, where it says, is it Buddhist? Not proverb, is not the word. Buddhist story. It might not be Buddhist. If you know, let me know. It's about the night and it's about the darkness and the sun. And the darkness is talking to the moon. And he says, I hate the sun. He always chases me away and he bullies me. And it's not just. I'm fed up with this. So the moon says to the sun one day, why are you always picking on the darkness? Why are you always chasing it away? And the sun says, what's darkness? Who is this darkness that you're talking about? Because as the darkness flees the sun doesn't even know the darkness is there. Because there can't be darkness where there is light. Now, when people share negative information as it's deemed negative, when people say there's this unjust banking system, etc., what they're doing is they're shining a light on it. And eventually, if enough people shine a light on it, it can't exist. And this is why we must speak, and we must understand that we are duty bound to speak the truth in our hearts. And we must always, for the sake of ourselves and our loved ones and the loved ones that we are yet to meet on this planet, share the truth that God shares with us and share the light which comes from that truth. Especially when it's about putting an end to something which is oppressing others and stealing their light. If something is oppressive and taking the light of another human being, and you have some light to shine on it, and it might help that human being to see the oppressor and to be able to shine a light back at it themselves, then you are morally bound by all things that are good in this universe to do so. So I just wanted to share that. Don't fear the negative. Educate yourself with the knowledge. And through the knowledge, or gnosis, as the word is, knowledge and gnosis are the same word, then you can learn to elevate yourself over the top of these issues. If something is oppressing you and it's negative, if you understand it, it can no longer oppress you. Or you can start working to get away from that oppressor. But if you just say, oh, this is too negative a subject, I can't deal with it, and walk away, you're not going to ever be able to shine a light on it for yourself or for others, and it's always going to be able to oppress you. So you need to find the strength in yourself. You need to go away, meditate, find the light in you, find the union with God, and say to God, okay, God, I I'm going in to do some research on this topic, on this oppressive force. It's negative. I know I'm not going to feel good afterwards. Help me through it. When you've done it, you can say, okay, I see you now. I see this. I understand how this works. It was horrible, it's negative, these people shouldn't be doing it, but now I see how it works. Now with love and with light, I can start to force this oppression out of my life. And with it, I can share with others what I learned, and hopefully they can find the same thing. So don't fear the negative, guys. We can't always just live in the positive. And I am living proof. If I hadn't plunged my life into a state of where everything is negative around me most days, everything, you know, you go out these gates, everyone's asking you, everyone who's in trouble comes to you. You're the shoulder to lean on for so many. They come needing food and they need medical care. And everywhere you go, you can't even... I go for a run the other night in the forest, and I end up giving a small English lesson to about 10 children down there because they were shouting good mornings at the evening time. So I had to sit them all down and start teaching them. I didn't have to, but this is what I mean. Everywhere you go, there's something going on. But when it comes to the village itself and the surrounding communities, there's suffering. There's suffering everywhere. And it's negative. And I have to be in the middle of it. Or I can't do the positive things. And it's the same for all of us. We have to, however hard it is, see the negative to do the positive. So, much love. Bye, guys.